for not telling mom and stepdad I was saving money? I, 17F, will be 18 in a few days. My dad died when I was 7 and my mom married my stepdad a year later. He was never mean to me. He just never bothered about me until my mom had my half-sister, 10. My mom decided to stay at home with my sister. Would do everything for her. Buy her things and take her places. I didn't even get pocket money anymore. At first it hurt so much, especially when the 3 of them went out and they left me with neighbors or friends, but eventually I stopped caring. When I was 15 I got a part-time job that got me out of the house and I hardly saw any of them. I started buying things I needed, including hygiene products, because those were limited. I also saved most of my money. I've been saving most of my money for 3 years. My sister came into my room on Thursday while I wasn't home. She said she was looking for a charger. She found the money I had been saving and took it to show it to my mom and her dad. When I got home they blew up at me. They wanted to know where I had gotten so much money and if I was selling drugs. When I tried to explain they wouldn't listen to me. My stepdad said that's why he wants me out when I'm 18, because I'm a degenerate who's going to influence my sister. They wouldn't give me the money back because they aren't sure where I got it and if it's legal. I left to go stay with a friend. I didn't even know my stepdad wanted me to leave when I turned 18. I don't blame my sister for any of this. She's young and doesn't know any better. She's not mean to me, she just doesn't interact with me much. I'm like a roommate she sees every now and then. Comment 1. Not the asshole. And you're almost an adult. Now is the time to learn how to stand up for yourself, because sometimes parents are wrong. Tell them to give you back your money or you will call the police. Don't bluff, do it. If they aren't going to listen, you need to force them to listen. The reason they're not giving the money back is because it's free for them to use as they please. And try to get a non-custodial bank account. Some banks offer this to teens 16 to 17 years old. You'll need to do some research. I am tired of parents who steal their kids' money. As a parent of 4, I would never do such a thing no matter my financial state. Edit. It does crack me up that a teen can get a job and pay income taxes and social security, but they can't open their own bank account in many places without their parents. Comment 2. My mom signed on my bank account when I was a minor, and then took all the money I put into that account without my knowledge for years. Maybe get a bank account in a bank that is different from your mom/stepdad, with another adult to sign? You have to be so careful who co-signs on bank accounts. Comment from Read Best. My mom once took my money, which was a gift from my grandparents. She said they gave me the gift because mom had given them gifts first, so they were just returning the favor to make things look good. I wanted my mom to like me more, so I agreed. Sigh, money seems to be more important than people. My husband doesn't know that I know what he's up to. My 33F, husband 34M, and I had our first baby back in June of last year. My husband's aunt gifted our son a lovely chunky knitted blanket. The blanket is so soft, and I have made multiple comments about how I would like to find a full-size blanket just like it because it is so cozy, and I'm kind of jealous of my baby. Well, this past weekend my husband snuck off to the store. He refused to tell me where he was going and why, but I later found a plastic bag with the logo of a local crafting store. That evening, DH stated that he would like to have an hour of alone time every night after our son goes to sleep. He stressed that he would not like to be disturbed, but if I needed him then I could call/text him. I agreed to this because we are both adjusting to have very little mean time since the birth of our son. Last night, during his alone time, our son started crying. I checked the baby monitor and saw that he had simply lost his pacifier. Then in the corner of his room I saw my husband sitting on the floor with a bunch of chunky yarn in front of him. I turned the volume up and heard that he was watching a YouTube video on how to finger knit. This sweet man is making me a blanket. He absolutely loves surprising me but is terrible at keeping secrets. I just know that he is going to slip up and accidentally mention something about the blanket at some point. I plan on acting clueless so that I will still be surprised when he gives it to me. I just love him so much, and I'm so delighted that he's learning a new skill so I can have a custom blanket. Comment 1. Please, please, please don't let me come back in several weeks to an update that he used the blanket to pay off of a gambling debt, gave it to his best friend's ex for her birthday, or made it into a furry suit for himself. If he managed to knit himself a furry suit, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be wildly impressed that he had such talent. Update. My sweet husband broke. He kept on mentioning that he was working on a surprise for me. I would occasionally ask what this mysterious project was, and he would get a cheeky smile and say, "I can't tell you." That eventually evolved into him repeatedly telling me that keeping the surprise was really hard and he wanted to just tell me. I kept saying no. You've kept it a surprise for this long, you can keep going. But one day after dinner he decided he couldn't keep it in anymore. He showed it to me. It was only about 1/4 done, but it was lovely. The yarn was really soft and was my favorite color. I could tell he had taken his time because of the consistency of all the loops. Even unfinished it was perfect. He told me that he kept moving it around to different hiding spots, but since our house is very small it was only a matter of time before I accidentally found it. He said he had run out of yarn and asked if I wanted to pick out another color to add to it. I said yes, and we made a little date out of it. We grabbed lunch and then walked around the craft store before I picked out a complementary color to the one he chose. He hasn't had much time to work on it the last few days, but he assured me it will be finished by my birthday. I'll post a picture of the blanket when it's finished. For now, I am wildly impressed with how long he kept it a secret, and I'm so excited to have my first ever handmade blanket. Comment 1. I died of cuteness and was resurrected but then died of cuteness again. Comment 2. Any other post and the update would have been that the husband used the blanket to hide the bodies of the hookers he had been massacring on the sly. Or he was having an affair with the yarn store owner. Or the yarn store owner's 17-year-old daughter who was now pregnant.